Welcome friends, it is Saturday morning, so we are going to do another one of our most watched recipe videos on YouTube recipe videos. We're in the dying days of February here when we're filming this, and there's a raging snowstorm happening outside. So I think I'd like to have chicken cacciatore, something nice and warming and comforting. So we will filter that by view count, and the number one video is how to make Matty Matheson's favorite chicken cacciatore. It's been on YouTube for 4 months and has 1.1 million views. So let's take a look.
Hear that with my microphone? That's the sound you're looking for, or hearing for. I don't think a lot of people say hearing for, but the chicken cacciatore, when you're hearing for it, listen.
Classic Matty Matheson. So this is from his latest recipe book. It is his mother-in-law's recipe, apparently. So let's get started.
I'm Matty Matheson. Today, in the Munchies Test Kitchen, I'm making chicken cacciatore.
So if you are looking for the most authentic chicken cacciatore recipe on YouTube, this isn't it. If you are looking for the most authentic chicken cacciatore recipe on YouTube, this is it. And what I mean by that is this is a recipe from Matty's heart. This is the recipe that his mother-in-law grew up with. And while it may not be authentic Italian, it is authentic family cooking of an Italian family that's lived in Canada for possibly generations. And so changes have been made in order to conform with the ingredients that they have here and the way that their family likes to cook. And I think the most important part of any recipe is the family component. And I don't just mean blood relatives, I mean, you know, the people that you live with, the people that are your friends that you consider family. I think those are the most important people to eat with. My own personal feeling anyway. So we're gonna get started here. I've got some chicken thighs. Matty uses leg quarters, and I have to say, there is no recipe with the video. There's no written recipe. He doesn't give any amounts. He's just cooking. He wants you to buy his cookbook. So I've watched the video probably a couple dozen times to come up with sort of what I think are the amounts, and we're going to give it a go. So I've got some olive oil heating up here in this pan, and we're going to brown off this chicken. Okay, so the chicken is browned and out it comes. You don't have to cook it all the way through at this point. It's going to stew for a couple of hours. So really it's just about getting some color and some fond in the bottom of that pan. Now, in go the onions. And the red peppers. Toss that around, get them cooking. Okay, next in, garlic. I'm going to say the same thing that he does in the video, about that much. Since there are no measurements, you're going to have to buy the book. So, in goes the garlic, and imagine we just cook that out a little bit before we put in the mushrooms. Okay, mushrooms. And green olives.
It's my cookbook! I have this cookbook, I wrote it. Look at that. I don't even know, that's a pork loin. That was from my nanny. Little tomato paste in the middle.
Oh no. Wait.
That is nice.
I'm running behind. So, next in, some tomato paste. Looked like he put in about that much. And so we'll just cook out that tomato paste a little bit before we add the next ingredient, which is chicken stock. I made some chicken stock for a couple of other recipes, and I've got a little bit left over, so I've got it in this pot here. But of course, if you want to use chicken stock that you buy from the grocery store, I'm sure that's fine. So he does say about a cup of chicken stock, so in that goes. Okay, so that's bubbling together really nicely. This is the point where we put the chicken back into the pot. Sort of nestle that in with everything else. And then he says to put in tomato sauce. Doesn't say what kind of tomato sauce, so I'm just going with some very plain crushed tomato sauce. Some people would call this, I guess, passata. In that goes, and so there's no flavoring in this. It's just tomatoes. And now we season it. So, some dried red pepper flakes, some oregano, and he says be careful with the oregano because it can be overpowering. I'm going to do a couple pinches, and then some salt and pepper. And now we just give this a stir to make sure everything is mixed together. Get the chicken pieces coated, get the seasoning in. Put the lid on. Okay, so the pasta is just about done.
Woohoo!
Oh, Jules is here.
Of course I am.
Let's check the pasta.
Was I supposed to be here? You saying I should go away?
Nope.
I can do that.
Good.
But, you know, you were making food.
I am making food. So out comes the chicken. Chicken cacciatore.
Okay.
Matty Matheson's favorite chicken cacciatore
Okay.
from his new cookbook. So take it out.
Oh, you take out all the chicken. Okay.
Take out all the chicken. And the sauce is bubbling away in here. And now, oh, the chicken is just falling
I'll just
apart.
keep watching you take out the chicken. Oh, look at that. Let's
Falling
take out
apart.
the chicken.
Now, off.
Do I need to do anything with this chicken?
Nope.
Okay.
And pasta goes into the sauce.
Oh, okay.
Give it a stir.
that makes
Just
sense.
Give it a stir. Making a mess.
Yes, you are.
That's my specialty.
Oh, see that thickens up quite a bit once you throw the
Yes. So
pasta in. I guess the starch from the pasta.
I knew that the sauce was pretty thin. Mm-hmm. So I cooked the pasta in a lot less water than you normally would,
Okay.
so that you get a lot of starch left in the liquid, and just the act of
Yeah.
pulling it over, it thickened that sauce
a
right
bunch.
up. So out it comes onto a plate.
Do you need a spoon to get out the vegetables?
Nah.
Keep those for later.
Yeah. Okay. So this is how Matty did it. He just pulled it out onto a platter,
Okay.
slightly more gracefully than I can.
I wasn't gonna say.
I know. Slightly more grease. Okay, so pulled it out like that, and we laid the chicken on top.
Okay, that's a great display. That works.
There you
And
go.
so then you just serve it one person.
I would imagine you serve it family style.
Okay, I'm gonna try this mushroom since it's right there with this pepper. It's got that classic tomato sauce kind of flavor to it.
You know, the sauce has a pretty good flavor for something that simmered for about an hour and a half. I mean, by the time you put the chicken in and you build those flavors on top, it's
kind of got that classic kind of tomato base
yeah,
pasta sauce.
yeah, that Italian American checkered tablecloth kind of yeah.
And I imagine if it's something that you grew up in, it would be very comforting kind of
yeah.
flavor to it. It's very. Now, on that always note, like anything, you can take it and make it whatever makes you happy. You want it to be spicier? Add something that makes it spicier. You want to add.
The chicken is super moist, has a lot of flavor. Now I hear you. I hear people screaming, it's not authentic. Who cares? I mean,
it's still the most popular.
well, yeah, it's the most popular. Doesn't matter if it's not authentic because it is authentic to their family. It's something that they make. And also, this was just super simple to put together. And if you're on a time frame,
As most people are.
that is a simple, easy meal that you can put together really quickly. I mean, you could cook it in the oven. You could braise it for a much longer time. You could do it in a crock pot.
Probably.
Yeah. And I mean, you know, is it white tablecloth? I don't think it's supposed to be.
No, it's meant to be
It's
at
yeah.
home comfort kind of food. Yeah.
I like that. I'll eat that. Thanks, Maddie. You know, you can come over anytime. We're not too far from you. And for everyone else, thanks for stopping by. See you again soon.